I have an unpopular opinion for you. Have you ever thought about the possibility that Bitcoin needs altcoins at least as much as altcoins are needing Bitcoin? Yes, I know everyone is saying that Bitcoin is the king, the safe house, and it is here for the rest of our days. But are we sure that there is no relationship between these two kind of assets? Well, let's discover and let's dig into this matter because it's so important, guys, to understand. If you understand this, it's not only about improving your ability to invest, but also to help other people to get into this industry. Remember, if we want to have the price of anything going up, we need more adoption. And to have more adoption, we need more investors coming into this matter, into this industry. But in order to push them, well, you need to have a completely full understanding on what it is Bitcoin and what is its relationship between Bitcoin and altcoins. Before to dig into the matter, let me say this channel is about educational content and nothing has to be intended as financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, that's super fine, but always your research before. And guys, don't forget also to leave us a big thumbs up and drop a comment to the comment section. Let me know, what do you think about Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin for you the king? Is Bitcoin the only thing that we need, or we need something else, and also Bitcoin needs something else? Let me know it into the comment section below. But let's start digging into the matter. So, as we said, Bitcoin is for sure the crypto with the biggest market cap ever. We know that. It is for sure right now the one with the safest in terms of volatility. But on the other side, what's the biggest driver for Bitcoin to increase in terms of price? Is it something just that it can go by its own self, so we can have a real reward without altcoins, with just Bitcoin? Well, that's something that at least for what we have seen yesterday, maybe it could be possible. But let's see it together. This is a white paper that just came out yesterday, and as you can see, compute anything on Bitcoin. So the idea is to create something like what we have on Ethereum with the Ethereum virtual machine, where you can compute and build anything on top of that. The reality is that if we have to compare what is BitVm with compared to Ethereum, is much more like a layer 2 on top of Ethereum, something like an optimistic rollup built on top of Bitcoin. But let's stop for a second and let's try to think. Is it really something that we need from one side, and on the other side, what are the limitations, which are the differences between what we have already on Ethereum and all the other blockchains to what is proposed right here on Bitcoin? Well, the reality is that from the tech side, I'm not an expert, so I can just give you the reviews that I have been reading all across the web. And from the tech side, the reality is that Bitcoin, yes, could be start taking advantage from this additional layer on top of itself, but it will always be slower than Ethereum. Not to mention that Bitcoin has not been built to support this kind of computation. Yes, I love to see more use cases for Bitcoin in BitVm, even if, just remember, guys, we are just talking about a white paper. It's not like something that is already functioning. It is just the first step for a different future. Maybe. Additionally, when we talk about layer 2s on Bitcoin, we have to remember that it's not the first time that we are seeing something like that. We have been already talking about Lightning Network, stocks, and so on. Different solutions, different ways to bring smart contracts and different use cases for Bitcoin, using Bitcoin as an overlayer and building different layers on top of that. So from a tech point of view, what we can say is that, yes, beautiful to see something like that on top of Bitcoin, but on the other side, Bitcoin hasn't been built to support this kind of use cases, and it will take much bigger effort to bring for real these kind of use cases on top of it. I honestly disagree with this kind of claim that is coming from this Twitter account. White papers enables all altcoin utilities on Bitcoin. It's not true, guys. Altcoin utilities are another story, something that is completely different from what is offered by this white paper. And there is also another reason, guys, that is even more important than just a technical limitation. are we sure that we want to really build and transform Bitcoin in something like Ethereum? Yeah, I know. Bitcoin Maxis are thinking, yeah, we know we wanted that. We really think that we need just Bitcoin and Bitcoin can fulfill any kind of use case. Okay, I understand that you are probably Maxi, but let me say that as we know, starting history, no maximalism has ever succeeded. It's always not a great idea just to push on something Maxi and being so literally narrow focused on something. On the other side, there is also another big problem if we embrace that philosophy. So far, Bitcoin has been just judged as a store of value and as a symbol. And the beauty of a store of value and as a symbol is that you don't need to be judged for your technology. Who cares at the end of the story if you are fast or not? It's not the point. As a symbol, you can be even slow. And as long as you are secure and you are keeping your identity, well, that's fair enough, and you don't need anything else. On the other side, when it comes to be a store of value, well, the only use case that it has to fulfill is store value, nothing else. And the same is also what, for example, here is a report by Fidelity that just came out the other day. It is saying, guys, we have to remember that in the moment when we talk about Bitcoin, we have to use another framework to judge Bitcoin compared to any other asset. Why? Simply because it has a different nature. When it comes to Bitcoin, it is a currency. It is a store of value, something that is following different dynamics. And as long as its identity is to fulfill these dynamics, there is no reason why to compare Bitcoin with Ethereum and using the same framework. Because remember, guys, that's the biggest problem. If we want to transform Bitcoin into an Ethereum, yeah, I don't have any doubt that the symbol is stronger and also that the level of security and decentralization is much higher. The point is that if we are competing from a tech point of view, you need a tech it is at least at the same level of Ethereum, and it's not. That's the reality. If the Bitcoin is trying to compete in that sense, and it's not fast enough, don't be surprised if the price is starting to just decreasing just because it's slow or it is over congested. Right now, even if it is slow, nobody cares. Why? Simply because who cares? It's the symbol. It's the entry level, exactly as this report is also saying. Bitcoin should be considered an entry point for traditional allocators looking to gain exposure to digital assets. So, as you can understand, that's another kind of scenario, another kind of use case. It's not like Ethereum that has to process transactions to create real utility into a supply chain, into a DeFi protocol, or to whatever is the use case that you are trying to accomplish using Ethereum. When we are using Bitcoin, we are talking about a symbol, something that is beautiful as it is. So that's the reason why I'm not so I wouldn't say happy because at the end of the story, we are just talking about a white paper, and it's always beautiful to see the community pushing and try to raise the standard, building something even greater on top of something else. So from a tech point of view, it is beautiful. But as a businessman, as a person who is studying branding, identity, and so on, I can't see it as an advantage when it comes to Bitcoin. It is a big limitation seeing and trying to compete with Ethereum. The best way to kill Bitcoin is to transform in a only one application that has to compete and to beat any kind of altcoin. Moreover, guys, remember, Bitcoin is not a standalone cryptocurrency. It is the leader of its own category. And the category that it belongs is the blockchain category, the cryptocurrency category. There is a problem. If we don't have anymore the category, if the category dies, well, guess what? With any probability, also Bitcoin will die. Because in the moment when you belong to a specific category, there is no way that you can survive without that. Can you imagine if all the smartphone as a category will die? With any probability, also the iPhone will die. There is no iPhone without smartphones. And exactly as there is no iPhone without smartphones, there is no Bitcoin without cryptocurrencies and without blockchain. So if for any reason the blockchain, and remember guys, blockchain is represented by its own altcoins. All the altcoins are going all over the globe trying to bring and fulfill different use cases, trying to solve problems for companies. And if they all fails, guess what? Who will ever trust Bitcoin? Why Bitcoin should be different? Yes, I know you would say Bitcoin is different for this, and this other reason. Yes, I understand from the tech point of view. The problem is that when it comes to business, when it comes to marketing, communication, and perception, in the moment when Bitcoin falls in the same category of a dead category, well, also the leader of that category will die. So that's the reason why I'm saying, guys, Bitcoin, it's beautiful. I love to see more innovation on top of that. I love to see more discussion on top of that. But we have to remember, being a Bitcoin Maxi is not helping the industry. We need more use cases. We need more companies, more people that are starting to say, cool, I love blockchain, I love cryptocurrency because they are solving a problem. They are creating value for all of us. This was just a little bit of a hint. I will go deeper into the matter into the next future, but I want to listen from you. What is your opinion? What do you think about Bitcoin, and what is the relationship between Bitcoin and the altcoins? Could we ever have a world without altcoins, but with only Bitcoin starting from now? Let me know it in the comment section below. Guys, thank you for following me, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye, guys.